Warning, this video is not for children. It is recommended that 13 plus maybe watch, since there will be mild swearing and discussion of serious topics like PTSD, anxiety, and gaslighting. Enjoy. My Little Pony was my childhood show. It has a very special place in my heart, and I had seen all 4 Equestria movies, Equestria Girls movies, and all of the main series, and I finally finished season 9 this year! Yay me! So I wanted to do at least one analysis video on MLP. Recently, the full-ass Rainbow Rocks movie was recommended to me on YouTube, so then I rewatched that, and then Friendship Games, and then Legend of Everfree. But for this video, I only want to talk about the last 2. And from the thumbnail, you can tell that this video is about human Twilight, or as the fandom likes to call her, Sci-Twi. As I rewatched Legend of Everfree, I realized that Twilight literally has PTSD from Midnight Sparkle. Older me was surprised to find this good metaphorical writing in a show about magical pony girls. The reason I say metaphorical is because it turns out Midnight was an actual force that was stuck inside Twilight that she had to literally get out of her, Korra style. Both of which were things that made it seem like they had PTSD, but it was actually just something inside them that caused them to be anxious. But if that's what it takes to have PTSD representation in a kids show, then I'll take it. Anything to help young audiences know that these feelings are valid. Anyway, back to it. In this movie, we are introduced to this world's true Twilight Sparkle, and from the get-go you can tell that she has social anxiety. So much so that she has her very own unofficial therapy/service animal, just like how in the Owl House, Flapjack could be considered Hunter's therapy talisman. Especially since Hunter clearly has trauma and anxiety as well. Speaking of which, I'll probably do a part 2 comparing Twilight and Hunter's trauma with gaslighters and manipulators sometime in the future, so subscribe and leave a like if you want to see that. Anyway, in Friendship Games, we see that throughout the movie she unintentionally is taking all of the main 6's powers from them.
Actually, Applejack, hey, let's go! What are you doing? I don't know! I'm sorry!
Which actually hurts them. And we can see that this greatly upsets Twilight. After the first few times it happened, she didn't want it to happen anymore because of what she saw it do to them. So we can see that her knowing that she's hurting someone, or maybe in other scenarios, disappointing someone, that her anxiety just gets worse. Although I'd like to thank Lauren Faust for her team for creating the scene where Fluttershy gives Twilight a service animal, and it calms her anxieties for a small while. Only to get tarnished immediately. That fear of hurting/disappointing people quite definitely comes from how Crystal Prep students were pressured and taught in general. And when Sunset went off on her for unleashing those vines into the race, Twilight has a mental breakdown and runs away. Because someone just laid it out quite bluntly. You just hurt so many people. What is wrong with you?
Daddy, chill.
And Cinch forbids someone turn out wrong or different in her school. Sorry, that was irrelevant. And all of those instances of her hurting the main 6 just bottle up into Midnight Sparkle. Midnight is literally the embodiment of Twilight hurting people without meaning to. In Legend of Everfree, Twilight has a nightmare about Midnight Sparkle. One so bad that she woke up screaming, "Stop!" That's not normal. But it is something that happens often, if that makes sense. All my watchers with strong PTSD, does this sound familiar? A nightmare so bad that it feels more real than a normal nightmare? One so bad that you wake up sweating, hyperventilating, and filled with paranoia? Twilight knows the feeling well. Throughout the movie, there are instances where random occurrences happen that are unexplainable, and when Twilight witnesses them, she instantly thinks that it's her fault. This is the classic self-blame that happens with most victims. Probably more on that in part 2. Twilight unhealthily keeps her feelings and worries bottled up from her friends and refuses to listen to Sunset Shimmer when she reassured her. This is just like how Elsa felt in Frozen, continuously pushing people away because of her guilt. Now, in the movie, we find out that Midnight was a real force, and that Twilight seeing flashes of her was actually real. But it was still a nice way to portray how real people with PTSD will often see images in flashbacks. It's quite obvious that Twilight fearing using her powers is an allegory for a real-life trigger. To Twilight, it feels like any time she used her powers, Midnight would get stronger. Luckily for her, she had the support of her best friends that took her in despite what she had done to them in the friendship games. What she had done unintentionally at that. And she was able to face and overcome Midnight once and for all. Now, in the real world, it definitely isn't as simple as that. PTSD doesn't just go away, it's part of how we grow and mature. Sure, with help it gets easier, but it's never truly gone. But that's fine. If a person lived without caution and fears, then they're not a person at all. Thank you for watching. This was a bit longer than my normal videos, but I guess I just had a lot to say. Go do something you enjoy. Never bottle up your worries, and get some sleep. 'Cause honey, you need it. Toodaloodles!
Millions of pieces, pieces for me. Millions of pieces, pieces for
Thank you for watching. This was a bit longer than my Thank you for watching. This was a bit longer than Oh my gosh!